I seen a great quotation the other day. Now, don't quote me on the pronunciation, but Krishnamurti, I think. And it was basically, it is no sign of health to be well adjusted to what is a sick society or something along the lines of that. And it's so true. I mean, where we live in a culture that's very much based on the acquisition of success, of power, of wealth. It's all about aesthetics. It's all about, what you achieve in life, how you look to the outside world. And then don't even get me started on social media. I mean, basically, it is this bizarre world that has taken over, which seems to be our benchmark for what our life should look like. And consequently, we're battering our bodies, we're battering ourselves just to try and be as good as everybody else, just to try and make a good impression on social media. And we're losing ourselves in the midst of it all. Likewise, we have to excel in our careers. We don't get enough sleep. We don't look after our bodies. We're so disconnected from our internal experience. We're no longer in touch with our gut, with our heart, with our emotions. I mean, sensitivity is almost seen as a mental illness, and it's just the true essence of being a good human has been lost. It's all about how you look, it's all about how good you are, and how much you achieve. And that is not a way to live your life. It's no wonder so many people are struggling with their mental health and struggling in their relationships, because we're not focusing on what it is that we need to do in order to be spiritually and emotionally well, which is connect with ourselves, learn how to calm down our bodies. I mean, so many people have experienced extreme trauma throughout their formative years, which makes their ability to, I suppose, navigate the world that we're living in so much more difficult. And they're struggling, they're literally suffocating and drowning in the effort because they feel like they don't fit into this world. But I don't think anybody fits into this world. I mean, to be that driven, to be so malevolent, to be so kind of focused on what really is very, very superficial when you think about it, is not a good way to be. I mean, we're a pack animal. We're meant to connect with each other. We're meant to connect with ourselves. We have all of this potential inside of us for greatness. And I'm not talking about greatness as in achievement. I'm talking about, kind of taking ourselves to a whole other level of self awareness, of self knowing, and of self actualization. And some of the happiest people that I know have very little technology in their lives, and they are just doing whatever it is that they love to do, whether it be creating something, whether it be working in the arts, whether it be, kind of working with animals. And they don't make a lot of money, but they're generally really, really content with their lives. And we have really lost focus on the difference between, I suppose, ephemeral happiness and long-term contentment and satisfaction, and that's not necessarily our fault, because the influences are ubiquitous. I mean, we just cannot avoid all of the bombardment of what it is life should look like for us. And I use that word a lot, bombardment. I was like, come up with something new there, Fiona, but it failed me. But it's always kind of, we're always running, we're always looking to the next thing, we're always feeling inadequate, and people have such low sense of self-worth, yet have such outward personas, that they portray to the world. And keeping this mask on, keeping this facade up, is just exhausting, and it is killing people. And I suppose the work that I do with people is about helping them realize that, first of all, these things aren't necessary. You do not need a successful life to have a content and fulfilling life. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be successful, but it just means that the work that you're doing should be intrinsically based, as in it should be driven from your inner beliefs, what it is is that you want to stand for, what it is that gives you joy, what it is that gives you satisfaction and a sense of purpose, as opposed to what it is that's going to make you money. Likewise, when it comes to your relationships, it's about connecting with the people who reflect what it is that you want to be as an individual, the essence of you. And it's about finding those people and connecting with them in a very physical way. I mean, kind of all of this kind of interaction on phones and emails is not really all that beneficial to us. We need to be with other people. We need to be connecting and, integrating with other people in a deep, meaningful way. We need to feel like we belong to something, and we need to feel like we have some great purpose, and I talk a lot about a belief in a higher power, or a belief in just something bigger than yourself, and how important it is in keeping you going, in making you feel a level of nourishment in your life, that you have some deep purpose, you have some reason to do what it is that you do. And it's so beneficial to your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. The more you can kind of step away from the rat race and go within to, really understand your own internal experience, your emotions, get in touch with all of the magic inside, get in touch with your intuition, get in touch with your gut, get in touch with your heart, come out of the head, which is where all the anxiety and all of the madness happens, and just keep it very basic. So the work that I do with people involves, first of all, identifying the thoughts that are causing you problems, getting in touch with the feelings that you're trying to run from, and then look at ways in which you can find life to be more fulfilling, to be more satisfactory for you, and get back in touch with who it is that you really are, so that you can become who it is that you've always were destined to be, or always wanted to be. If you wanted to get in, or if you want to work with me on a one-to-one basis, get in touch with me on my website. It's fundamentals.ie.